like cloth that we would wear, and then we have the fiberglass material, which with the little glass particles that are not leaded glass, okay, it does show up a little bit, but it doesn't really absorb a whole lot, okay, because glass isn't leaded, it won't absorb anything, okay? So the fact when a person has a fiberglass cast on, all we're doing is accommodating for the thickness of the part. That's it. There's nothing that's changed the opacity or nothing that's changed the absorption of the beam.
Even if it's like wet or dry, because I think that was part of the
For
question.
that only has to do, wet or dry only has to do with plaster.
Okay.
Okay, because fiberglass, we wet it, but it doesn't absorb the water like plaster absorbs the water. So when we do something that has a plaster cast on it and it's wet, we have to accommodate for the water and the plaster itself, because plaster does attenuate the beam differently than what fiberglass does.
So if you were to change the question, I think it was fiberglass on the test.
Yes,
If
it
the
was.
question had been, let's say like a wet plaster cast, the answer could be both. You have
Yes.
to account for different opacity and different
Yep,
thickness.
exactly. And that's why when it's plaster, we change our KB and our mass. Okay?
Okay. Yeah, you had mentioned that. You had also told us to go by the stuff in bond, which doesn't say anything about
Which
mass.
doesn't say,
But in general, just kind of know that for fiberglass you change, or for plaster you change both,
yes,
but for
fiberglass, you only have to,
change KB.
no, mass.
Mass.
Because we're accommodating for the thickness,
Thickness.
and that's it. And it's not gonna absorb the beam.
Fiberglass mass,
Fiberglass mass.
and then plaster both.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just if you were to extend it all the way out for a dry plaster cast,